Congressman Adam Kinzinger. Congressman, good morning to you.
My man, what's up?
How you doing this morning?
Pretty good, late night, early morning. That's all right. I can do one of those or two of those a week, and then
you're still young enough to pull that off, aren't you?
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Not quite fully into it yet, but we're good.
Ears ringing from all the applause.
Yeah. I'll tell you, it was okay. First off, we got to quit all the standing ovations.
Yes,
right?
I've thought that for 30 years. Too much. Sit down.
When we took over in 2010, Boehner was like, "Listen, guys, no more standing ovations unless it's like for the troops or something. We've got to change this." And it didn't last because, of course, Democrats were in charge. Well, they had President Obama, so they would initiate it. Yesterday, there were about half of the standing ovations I wouldn't stand for. I'd just clap in my seat. And the whole time I'm like, oh, man, people are going to think I don't support children or something.
Right.
I'm all about let's go to just maybe some claps and stop the standing O's all the time. But, yeah, it was a good speech. It was a great speech, actually, I'd say.
It was interesting to see, how some people, got up to applaud themselves, but did not applaud very many other things. Good economy, trying to save lives, things along those lines, not really worthy of standing up or even applauding.
I got to tell you, I'm looking over at this kind of, I'm sure it was shown on TV, this core of the Democrats that were just like the Mergel, him hum, right?
Yep,
Everything's so terrible. And so I'm over watching them, and that's my impression, by the way, of a curmudgeon.
Yes, I thought it was a good one, too.
So anyway, I'm watching them, and when I see, the president talk about Maduro in Venezuela, and half the Democratic Party does not applaud that because they support a dictator in Venezuela. When I hear the president say, we will never be a socialist nation, I don't care how liberal you are, you should agree that we'll never be a socialist nation. What I saw yesterday is that this is no longer your dad's Democratic Party. This is not the party of the union worker. This is not the party of blue collar. This is not the party that, had some elements that were tolerant of the Second Amendment. This is the new Bernie Sanders makes Nancy Pelosi look kind of conservative Democratic Party.
Yeah.
It's bad.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. And when the words were spoken, we're not a socialist country, we're never going to be born in freedom and all that. The look of disdain from the same group that you're talking about before was unreal.
The other one I watched was the Omar. I think she's from Minnesota.
Mm-hmm.
The one that made all the anti-Israeli stuff. I mean, she's straight up anti-Semitic. To watch when comments were made about we moved the embassy to Jerusalem. She sat on her hands, shook her head. I mean, I'm looking over there, and again, this is my 9th year now. I've been through a lot of State of the Unions, and for the most part, there is the politics of who's going to clap and who's not, right? But I have never felt like that party, the Democratic Party, was so far away from traditional American values as I felt yesterday. It's one thing to say, I disagree with Obamacare, I disagree with all these things of the Democrats, but I think they have the country's best interest at heart. What I saw yesterday was a core of Democrats that will not be happy unless we are Cuba or Venezuela, and Michael Moore is president, and that's what I saw. It's really frightening.
And the same group that keeps going back to that old chestnut, Congressman, which is, socialism just hasn't been done by the right people.
That's right. Well, I agree with them. I mean, I agree. Communism would be if we were in heaven, right?
Where they don't need it, in hell where they already have it.
That's right. If everybody had pure motivations and we all wanted to work as hard as we could and share our goods, I mean, my guess is, heaven will be some kind of situation like that. But on earth where people are flawed and selfish, it doesn't work. And capitalism is the thing that has pulled more people out of poverty than any UN program, than any aid program, than any social program. It has been the advent of capitalism. And if you look at Africa, for instance, millions have been pulled out of poverty because people now are out there trying to develop their own businesses, and they're working hard, and they're working for more than the government. And, boy, woe to us if we forget that lesson.
Did the president go in the directions that you thought he would? Did he go anywhere that surprised you? Did he take a stance that surprised you?
I was very proud of him for, I think, calling out the abortion issue as clear-eyed as he did. Abortion is one of those things where we try to typically avoid debating it because you're not, it's hard to convince anybody. And And, and it's just like, well, everybody's got their opinions on it. But given the last few weeks and the fact that the Democrats have taken such a hard turn towards late-term abortion, a thing that I used to think was settled, right? If it's one thing if you believe in abortion for the first 21 weeks, which I don't. I believe in life. But if you're going to argue that, that's one thing. But then to say the moment before a baby is born, or in the case of Ralph Northam, to say that after a baby is born, you can kill this baby, I was very proud of the president for calling that out very clear-eyed. And, I think it really was one of the most energizing for our side moments. One of the moments that actually kind of went over with a thud, just to kind of give people the inside the beltway or the inside the chamber kind of scoop.
Yeah.
Was Syria and Afghanistan. I've never felt, there was very little applause. I'm not sure how it came across on TV. And there was a lot of us in the audience kind of like, very much in disagreement, Republicans and Democrats. So, look, if somebody says they agree with everything the president says, they're probably just pandering.
Right.
There were a couple areas I didn't, obviously foreign policy, but for the most part, I give him an A on the speech. I thought it was very good.
Well, and when you look back, and I think one of the things that's got to drive some people to distraction, too, is he got a 76 to 78% approval on it.
Yeah, that's amazing. You never see that.
No. I can't remember the last time I saw something like that over a State of the Union.
No, I don't think, probably Bush after 9/11 was about the extent of it. But I think the president stuck a great tone. I think he, surprised a lot of people that expected him to be a little more fighty. I think he made a great case for the border security and immigration. I was asked this morning by somebody else about that, and I go, look, he's put all kinds of opportunities of olive branches to fix immigration, and all I have heard from the Democrats so far, and I hope they change their mind, all I've heard from them so far is, no, we're not going to build a wall. That's our starting position, no wall.
And our ending position, and we have no other position to move to at all. It's just a straight no, and arms folded.
And when I saw last night those Democrats sat on their hands and were angry when the president called out socialism, they were angry when he said we're not going to be a country of open borders, I realized that there's going to be a core of the Democratic Party that is totally unable to be dealt with. And that's just a fact. Look, if you're going to sit on your hands when the president says we don't want to be a country of open borders, nobody wants to be a country of open borders, at least in the old normal Democratic Party. In the new one, they do.
Sure. And, when you see the look of disdain, Bernie Sanders over there, at the point of, the knock against socialism and we're not social, I thought he was going to get up and leave.
This crazy man, Bernie Sanders, I respect the fact that he really believes what he believes, and that to me is important. But this guy who everybody saw was a fringe is now like really driving this party. Look, if I was, Republicans have had our own problems with, some voices on the very far and trying to completely change who we are as a party, especially some of the isolationist voices.
Right.
But we've kept our core all in all. The Democrats have lost their core. I mean, they are not. If you're a union voter, by the way, if you're a union member and you think you're going to vote Democrat in 2020, they don't care about you. They're not out there courting the union vote now. They're courting the far left vote. Donald Trump is going to be your union vote this year.
Yeah, it would appear, because it seems to be a race to who can come from the left, from the farthest point on the left.
Well, I get a lot of union support, and what I noticed from some of my friends in the unions is, that have voted Democrat, they like their guns. They believe in God. They believe in America. And, it's just in the past the Democrats have courted them. This is a different thing now. If you believe in this country and, kind of the hand on the heart, pledge allegiance to the flag, Donald Trump and the Republican Party is your party. And, we're the party that wants to build. We're not open and have people come up and take your jobs.
I'm glad you took some time out of your day to give us your take on that one. By the way, kudos on a terrific column that was posted in the Rockford Register-Star. I know this was a couple of weeks back, but we didn't get a chance to mention it. Your view, civility now, we need to tone it down.
That's right.
An outstandingly written column.
Well, thank you. Thank you.
I think you make some outstanding points as well, and I like the fact that you pointed the finger back at yourself.
That's right. I mean, look, here's the deal. We can be passionate, we can argue hard, but when we take it personal, I worry about what that leads to in the long run. You can, people that don't agree with you are not necessarily evil. Let's just have good debates again. And I've failed, and I'll fail again, but I'm going to try to do better. Outstanding. Congressman, as always, we really, really appreciate your time. Have a fantastic rest of the day. You too, brother. Take care.